Did you have shooters you watched growing up?
I mean, obviously JJ is like the one that everyone looks after. Like him and Kyle Korver, I think, are kind of from when I grew up, the OG, like come off screens and get their shots that way.
Why not Ray Allen?
Because Ray Allen was like,
why not Ray Allen, Sam?
Yeah.
Ray Allen too, honestly.
Reggie Miller.
What month?
Reggie's too old.
What month are we in?
Yeah, it is February.
I mean, if you want to disrespect Ray Allen like that and say he was just a shooter, then that's on you.
Way to skirt that.
Yeah, those guys. Wayne Ellington was a guy that I really watched. So there you go, Larry. Remember Wayne Ellington?
Yeah, I do.
What's up, fellas?
How you doing?
What's going on, man? How cool is this? You got Wilt Chamberlain on your phone.
I was gonna say. What month are we in?
Yeah,
February.
You know it. JA is hooping, man. JA is hooping, man. What's the list now, Jay? It's Bubble TJ Warren.
Yeah.
It's
Mask Kyrie.
Mask Kyrie, Jersey Untucked Kobe, and Black History Month JA as the highest peaks of all time.
When did this catch on? When did you guys understand what was happening?
I mean, honestly, 40 and 17 was pretty loud.
That was the start of it.
That was pretty loud. Yeah.
29 minutes? 40 and 17 in 29 minutes?
29 minutes, yeah.
It
set the record.
5 assists, 4 blocks.
Yeah.
You know what? You want to go over some trivia?
Oh, yeah.
There are 4 players in NBA history to have ever had 40, 17, 5, and 4.
4 other than me.
4 other than Jay.
What would?
Any guesses?
Are you asking us the name?
Wilt?
Wilt's one, right?
Uh-huh.
Kareem?
No. Wilt is not.
No, Wilt is not. Kareem is one.
Kareem's one.
Yes.
Okay. Are any other current?
1.
Jokic. No, you said 5 blocks.
Giannis?
4 blocks. Not Giannis.
Joel?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's one more. I would say obvious one, and then we'll give you the
Very
other one.
obvious.
We wouldn't know.
Is the other one playing still or no?
No.
Probably Shaq.
Yeah. Shaq. And then the other one was a name that I can't remember, but it was
like
great player.
Bob Joe.
Yeah, he was the number 1 overall pick at some
awesome.
point, and no disrespect, but the other names on the list.
It was done in like 1987.
Yeah.
We'll pull the clip.
We'll get JA, the Black History Month JA, stellar. He's an all-star. He's unbelievable.
Before we get into basketball, because we always start this, what's your newest hobby? What's your 2026 hobby?
I'm reading. Been reading a lot right now. I'm reading this Alien versus Predator, like that series. But the alien, it's set in medieval times. So instead of like a futuristic type, it's like people are fighting aliens with like spears and stuff like that.
What was the genesis of picking this up?
I just saw it at Powell's bookstore in Portland. I'm like,
Have you guys ever done the bookstore trip with him?
He only invites video guys.
Players
don't get invited to this.
Like, it's funny now that we're talking about it and you're still not going to get invited.
Nope.
Like,
it's funny. I've never been on the golf trip with Sam. I've never been invited. Yeah.
You'll get invited to the next one.
We were just
say no.
we were just talking about your golf game. Larry and I were saying, what are you, scratch?
Not quite, but about 2 handicap.
And he's not a golf person.
I am not going to put forth the time to be good. No.
Did you ever play?
Nope. No.
I feel like it would be interesting if you decided. The funny thing with golf is when you decide to lock in. Like, when did you really get into it?
I've played my whole life, but like really, really started playing was when I graduated college because I had way more time.
And you were just like, I need something to do on the road.
Yeah.
So Alien vs. Predator.
Mm-hmm.
How does this compare to some of the other things where you were like, are you spending a year on this, or is this going to be a thing where you're?
My goal this year: read 3 books, play 2 games, and watch 1 movie in the movie theaters.
Watch 1 movie in the movie.
In the movie
Have you seen
theaters.
anything in the theaters yet?
Not yet. This month it's going to be Send Help.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
What do you guys? Do you have anything like this where you're outside of golf? I know you have a lot of interest, but the thing with Jarrett is like you just get so into it. That's kind of what the difference is.
I mean, like general hobbies.
Like specific hobbies. Everyone has hobbies. Like a thing where you have like every time I talk to him, it'll be like it's woodworking. It's like I'm building a laptop. It's like it's things that seeing Send Help, while it's a great thing. Shout out to the people who made that movie. Is like a lot of people see Send Help.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't build keyboards.
Fair enough.
Like, is there a thing where you're like, oh, this is my thing that I do that? Yeah.
Unique to me. You?
I mean, mine right now is probably having kids.
Honestly.
Yeah, he's
just had our third 3 weeks ago, and then our second turned 1 a week later. So
you're dealing with that. You're playing, and then you're golfing.
Yeah, that's my life.
We're gonna do background stuff with you guys because we've already gone through some of it with him. But before we do that, we're taping this Saturday. You guys just came from Charlotte. 5-0 since you got James. I don't know what the record is since Keon and Dennis, but it's got to be fairly. So you're playing great.
Yeah.
What's been the main takeaway on this run so far? Like, what do you feel like has stood out?
Larry, you're the most experienced.
Oh man, I feel like I've got a unique perspective on this. Just being able to kind of watch it all unfold. It's a guy like James his gravity's so high that like when you have bigs like we do, Ev is just getting back into the fold, but JA specifically, like we were talking about this last night on the bench. His pick and roll, like him playing in pick and roll, gives us when Don goes out, it gives us another like there's no drop. You know what I mean? There's no drop off from James Don. It's ridiculous, but when he's operating the pick and roll, it's just the control he has of the game. And with a big with such good hands and finishing ability as JA, it's been really. I think the game management has been elite thus far.
Yeah, I think we called it refined.
Yeah,
his pick and roll game is refined, like to the sharpest degree.
Are you surprised at all how quickly you guys? Because I feel like with chemistry in general, it just takes time, just takes reps. Are you surprised at all how quickly it's come together?
Not really. Honestly, like the guys we got in, Dennis, he's been in multiple situations where he has to fit in like that. Keon, he's a plug and play type of guy, and James, a Hall of Famer. He's going to fit into basically any situation. So not with the guys we have, not really.
Did you never played with? I was going to look this up on the flight. You never played with Dennis, did you?
No, I haven't.
I'm like shocked by that. No, with like everybody else besides you three.
Yeah, no, it's true. He's been a little bit everywhere, but no, he's been a spark plug. Him and Key are menaces.
You probably will have a like a sort of saying, having been on all these different situations, you have an interesting perspective on the veteran additions like this, guys who you're bringing them in and they've seen, they've really seen everything. They've seen every type of locker room. They've seen every type of basketball situation. Do you feel like even in your own experience, that's been a thing? And obviously it hasn't been, being added at the deadline necessarily like this, that there's more of a comfort level of being like, oh yeah, this is a brand new group. It's a brand new conference, but I don't need that feeling out period. I'm kind of good to just walk in and just like start going.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think it's with the guys that we got, like J.A. said, Keon is a plug and play. Like there are, I would say 30 or 20, apparently 29 teams in the NBA that would love a guy like Keon, and just you throw him in your lineup and he makes positive things happen. So he's easy to figure out. A guy like James is, it's not. I don't know if he fits a system, but the system fits him. Everywhere he goes. Like he creates that. And Dennis, again, I feel like we're asking Dennis to be Dennis. So they've got. I wouldn't say it's done and dusted. We're clicking on all cylinders and peaking right now, but like there's going to be ups and downs still. But I do think the rules we're asking them to play suit them really nicely. What
have you noticed with James so far, just from like a spacing standpoint?
Oh, I mean, like Jay said, it's just everything he does is so refined. And like I was talking about this last night after the game, we feel like only 5 games in, but we feel like if we can get to the right spacing, get to our spots, and then get him in the right situation, generally to his left hand playing out of pick and roll, like he's going to make the right play almost every time. And we have adjusted our spacing. There's obviously going to be a lot of ISOs with him, not as much as you'd think, but he's, getting his fair share of ISOs every game, and teams really want to load up when he's doing that. So we've tried to adjust our spacing, me specifically, like deeper spacing, open up that pass if he wants it, try and make the defense, put them in tougher situations. So like Larry said, there's still things that we're trying to learn about each other, and his passing cadence, I like to call it, is different than Don's and is different than DG's was. So it's things you have to learn, but like these guys have said, like he's been so good for us so far.
From your perspective, if you were in a different situation and you have two guys like him and Don who can just attack all the time, and you basically know that going in,
right?
Not like you're not going to tell other teams what to do, but like you're in a unique spot where you've had to deal with that kind of thing in the past,
right? And
so if you were to sort of look at it more objectively, what do you see when you look at the two of them?
In some ways they're similar, in some ways they're not. Like in the ISO game, they both can get a bucket anytime. Crossover, step back. They both have that. It's the going downhill part. Like James will go down. Like during the game last night, James was going downhill left. It looked like he was going to shoot a floater with his left hand, but he flicked his wrist more and threw me the lob. That takes a lot of skill and patience. Donovan, he's not much of a lob thrower, to be honest with you, but he'll find you in the pocket, or he's for sure going to score at the rim. They both have these attributes that contribute to scoring on both ends, not both ends, on the offensive end of the floor. It's just different in slight ways.
I want to do some background stuff with you guys because we haven't gone through this on the show yet. What was Bountiful, Utah like?
It's a great question, man.
That's a great question.
And that's home for me. Obviously, I just tell everyone I'm from Salt Lake because it's about 15 minutes north of downtown Salt Lake, but it's really not. Different county and everything. Listen, Utah doesn't have a very rich recent history of NBA guys. I think I had a news guy tell me once that, before me, there had been like maybe 5 guys that had graduated from a Utah high school that have spent more than 5 years in the league. And then Frank Jackson, who played at Duke, played at Lone Peak in Utah. I believe, I'm pretty sure he played more than 5 years. And now I've played more than 5 years. So that was not ever something
Hall of Famer.
Well done.
Utah
Well done. Utah Mount Rushmore.
Put your shit up in the airport.
Okay, Sam.
No, but it's just like, that's not something that, we do love our sports in Utah, but not something that I ever thought was going to happen.
You obviously didn't go there. Are you paying attention to this BYU, this renaissance of now BYU is now like the program in college basketball?
You're I went 0-4 against BYU, so there's not a lot I can say, but you did say the program, and they're like in 8th place in the Big 12 right now. They've had some injuries. But
Bring your receipts on them.
Right?
It's honestly pretty cool. Like, I don't watch a ton, but I watched a few of their games, and, Devon's is really good, and, Richie Saunders, really good player, and they brought in a bunch of guys. So it's cool to get some more storylines around our state.
So were you always going to do Utah State, or did you look anywhere else?
Always. I grew up a Utah State fan. Parents went there. My dad's from there. That's all I ever wanted to do.
When you were in high school, if for whatever reason, Coach K comes, somebody comes calling that you might not have been a fan of growing up, but they have the name recognition. Would that have meant anything, or? Maybe.
I mean, I only had one other offer at the time that I committed and signed. It was University of San Francisco. So it's hard to say. I mean, if a big school had called, I definitely would have listened, but I don't know. Utah State was just always the place I wanted to go.
Was Nicaragua, that was before freshman year?
That was before. So graduated high school, and then I left on my mission a week and a half later. Spent 2 years in Nicaragua.
Is that 2 years straight?
2 years straight.
Have you been down there at all?
No. I think that story is incredible.
It's incredible.
He just goes there for 2 years on the mission.
So were you playing at all down there?
No.
Comes back, flamethrower still on his arm.
Right?
Never skipped a beat.
I think more people might need to go down to Nicaragua.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough experience. So you start your mission. You go to Mexico City for 6 weeks to learn Spanish and kind of learn how to, become a missionary, and played a little down there. But once I got to Nicaragua, I touched the ball maybe 3 times, and it was all outdoor and on net, just kind of messing around.
What kind of stuff were you guys doing?
So for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it's all day, every day, just walking around, talking to people, inviting them to come to church, listen to our message. Basically 24/7, that's all we're doing.
Have you been down there since then or no?
No, I've wanted to go back, but I will at some point.
It's such an interesting, 2 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
So are you, when you're down there, are you even being like, is the NBA even in your mind?
No, I was just hoping I could play in college and like get back to Utah State and be in shape. And like our rules are so strict, like didn't ever watch any games. Our only communication with the outside world, unless you could, see it on people's TVs when you're walking around, was every Monday we would email our families. And so I'd get sports updates then, and that's really it. So you kind of just put it all to the side and see what happens when you get back. But funny story. I got to Nicaragua. I spent my first 3 months with, they call him your trainer. Someone's teaching you the ropes of how it works and whatnot. And then after that, I got sent to an area that I had never been to, and I was asked to train a new missionary. So we're basically brand new. Like, I still barely know Spanish. We're in this new area. One of our first few nights in, walking down a darkish road. But again, I'd been around, like, it didn't feel dangerous. There's a group of guys on the corner. Guy comes up to us. It's like, give me your phone. We have these $10 phones. Just if they ask for it, just give it to them. So we give them the phone. I was the only one that had a phone. So the guy walks away. His other guys go up to my companion. They're asking him telling him to give him their phone, to give them his phone. He's like, I don't have one. As that's happening, the guy that took my phone walks back, and I didn't even see this, grabs this big rock, chucks it right at my face, hits me right in the mouth. And
What?
again, I didn't see this. I didn't see this coming. So I thought I had gotten shot, like someone threw a firecracker at me, and immediately blood is going everywhere. There's people around. They start yelling. So me and my companion just run. I got blood going everywhere. We call our leaders. They come get us. They take me to the hospital. I ended up having 2 teeth replaced. So I have 2 fake teeth. I had to do like 6 months of dental work down there. I had to spend probably 4 months with a retainer. So this one was in a retainer, so I could take it out. And
so it hit your teeth, not your nose. So your nose was all right.
it hit just square in the mouth. And
So hit you with the rock. You ran.
we just ran. So I couldn't be out working for, a couple weeks. So it took 2-3 weeks for us to get back in the area. And we definitely did not go down that street again.
Was there,
What?
So I have 2 fake teeth because of that.
was there any follow-up from anyone about it? Or was it kind of just like, don't go down the street again?
There was I don't even want to say this. There was a rumor that the guy got hit by a truck like 3 weeks later, but
Sam put a hit out.
I find that hard to believe. I find that hard to believe.
They don't call me Money Merrill for nothing.
You're 19 at that point?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Is there any, and I know, we sort of already talked about like kind of the history of why you went down there first. Is there any part of you that's like, I just want to go home?
Yeah. Like I said, we don't really talk to our families. The only times when I was out there, we would Zoom our families on Christmas Day and Mother's Day. That's the only time we talk to our families. But that night, because of what happened, our mission president let me call my dad, and it was a 2-minute conversation. That's just how my dad is. It was like, he was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And he's like, "Okay, you good to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Let's keep going." And that was it. So not really, honestly.
Just like get it stitched up,
Yep.
and then you're straight.
Right back out there.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Attacked in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
Sam Merrill.
Jumped in Nicaragua.
Yeah, it's wild
Best
experience.
3-point shooters in the NBA. Jumped in
Good job,
Nicaragua. Do you ever talk to the
Yeah.
younger guys?
That's a big deal.
People
It's a
going on?
relatively big deal.
Calm story from him.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Oh yeah, just yeah. Oh yeah. Hit me
Do
with
you
a
ever?
rock.
Do you talk to the younger people going on missions ever?
Yeah, I've had the chance to do that. I've talked to missionaries in Ohio a couple times. Listen, I tell them I don't. Whatever's coming after it'll work itself out. Like I don't regret that decision at all.
It is an interesting. We were talking about like the intangibles that are brought out of you. Definitely. You mentioned toughness before, but I feel like once you go through that experience, the NBA feels pretty.
I tell people I'll never do anything as hard as what my mission was, for sure.
Teach about adversity, that's for sure. Yeah.
So how long did it take when you got back to? Yeah,
that's incredible.
So like, what was in terms of the process of like ramp up? It's a pretty big break.
Yeah, I came back and I was. Nicaragua is a great place, but basically you're eating rice, beans, chicken, bread, and drinking a ton of Coke. and so I came back at 205, but I would guess I was 18 to 20% body fat. Like I did not look good. And
We're
so
gonna get the pics. We're gonna pull. the
please
pics
no,
later.
please no. It didn't get much better throughout college. It wasn't until post that I started to lose some fat. But that summer, my strength coach had some experience with return missionaries, obviously. And I got to it pretty quick. Like there wasn't, I was immediately playing pickup and practicing. But one thing that my strength coach wanted me to do to shed some of the fat was to do fish oil. But I would do spoonfuls. So I had to do 3 spoonfuls a day of fish oil. It was the most disgusting thing
Every day.
ever.
Every
3 a day, yeah.
For how long?
For that first summer I was back. It was not fun. But I was able to get back into shape pretty quickly. And, I was playing a little bit to start the season. And then, by halfway I was starting. So it didn't take too long.
And it felt like your scoring jump at least was like what, junior year?
Yeah, I think I averaged 9 or so my freshman, maybe 16 or so sophomore year, and then 20 junior and senior year.
It was so interesting. It's like, because we'll talk sometimes to different guys about like when they thought like the pros were an option. And there's a lot of guys who are late bloomers who kind of, figure it out later than others. But in this one, there's a ton of extenuating circumstances. And so your junior, we'll get to the draft, but your junior, senior year, is this a thing that's starting to creep into your head? Or are you kind of just like, I'm happy that I've even made it back up the, mountain to a certain extent?
Yeah. Like I said, for me, the pathway that I had seen from a bunch of guys that went on missions and played college basketball in Utah was Europe. So that's basically all I thought. And that was kind of my goal was play overseas. And then I feel like sometime throughout my junior year, I heard that there was, at least a possibility of making it work. And then summer of going into my senior year, I went to the Chris Paul camp and had played really well, had a really good camp. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe this is a realistic possibility.
Did teams ask about the mission at all?
All the time, yeah.
Are they just more curious than anything? I'm kind of like, it's definitely unique.
Yeah, more so curiosity and, kind of what I learned. And I tell people like, yeah, it sucks that I lost those 2 years of potential playing time or whatever, but you have to learn how to work down there, like really work, and you have to be resilient and learn how to be tough and all that stuff. So I wouldn't trade that experience for anything.
How'd you end up at Wyoming?
I just wasn't that great at basketball. No. Look, I was a late bloomer.
You were not that tall, right?
No, I was a late bloomer. I grew late. I had some health issues growing up, and once we got that figured out, I grew around my sophomore year from 6'1", or from about 5'10" to the next summer it was 6'5", 6'6", and so trying to get coordinated through all that, I just wasn't that great. And so I had a few low level, some good D2 offers, some lower level D1, but then they all started to lose their scholarships due to kids taking them or academic reasons or whatever. And then a coach from Wyoming who was from Cleveland, Larry Shyatt, just heard that Larry Nance's kid didn't have a scholarship yet. Never seen me dribble a basketball. Yeah, I know, I'm crazy, right? No, like, look, I'm not going to shy away from it. It sure as hell opened some doors for me. I just stayed in them. No, it so just heard and came down to see me work out. And again, I was starting to like get healthy. And so I was I was absolutely worthy of it at that point. And so offered me, I took a visit, and they took a chance on me, and I got on campus and grew like 3 more inches. And it
did you like the campus?
Oh man,
Wyoming and Utah are like 2 of the cooler places to go.
It's the best. I would do it again and again and again.
Wyoming was the worst place to play in our conference.
See, I would say the exact same thing about Utah.
Why?
State.
Well, you had to fly to Denver, and then take a 2.5-hour bus ride.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't breathe for the first 6 minutes. Of the
mile
game.
and a half above sea level.
Just coming from Utah, couldn't breathe for the first 10 minutes of the game. Yeah, it was fun spot to play.
No, look, I would do it again and again and again. It was exactly.
Where is the campus in Cheyenne? Or
Laramie, Wyoming. Yeah, it's like when I was there, it was like 14,000 students on campus, and it was.
Were the fans crazy?
They weren't. When I was there, they weren't very good. Don't know, but
is Utah State the one with the ridiculous fan section?
Student section.
Yeah.
Elite student section.
Elite student section. Is that still the case?
Yeah, it's as good as it's ever been right now.
Why we had great fans. We were very good while I was there, and the fans rewarded us with we were 10 or 11 just about every game. Really good.
When did you start? When did you hear about these? Did you not hear about them until they got to the league, or did you know anything before?
Larry, because of his dunks.
In college?
Like a year.
No, because you're older than him.
Yeah.
So he knew about you when you were in the league and he was in college.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
So that's how
okay. Gotcha.
I didn't know about Sam until I got to the Cavs and I heard about somebody killing in the G League.
So draft night, your last pick.
Did
you think you're getting picked?
I thought there was a chance. And then about halfway through the second round, I actually agreed to a deal with a team, but I wasn't going to get drafted. And then, half hour later, Milwaukee called and said, "Hey, we'll give you the same deal, but we'll actually draft you." So I knew I wasn't going to go in the first round. Second round starts, and I thought, maybe mid-second round. But then those picks start going, and you're like, man, I'm better than that guy. What's going on? What's happening here? So it fortunate that it worked out that way.
It is tough. I do feel like there's been a bunch of examples of guys who are sort of in that spot who would rather not get picked so they can pick the spot. Was there any part of that with you, or you're just kind of like, however it goes, it goes?
No, it was, we felt pretty good about the 4 or 5 teams that had real interest. Felt like any of them would be a good spot. So
what was that first year being on a championship team like?
I tell people it was an amazing life experience. Now I wouldn't trade it for anything. At the time, it kind of sucked.
Just because you're just they're like they don't need you. So
first time ever not playing. Like I don't think I'm breaking news here. Maybe guys wouldn't say that, but it's hard when you're not playing. And I wasn't, I'm not acting like I was supposed to be out there playing 20 minutes a night, but still hard. And first time for whatever reason got a little homesick and whatnot. Even though I'd been gone for 2 years, I had dealt with homesickness before, but now I wouldn't trade it. Like the lessons I learned on how to be a pro and what it takes.
What do you remember about your rookie year? Now looking back on it,
my rookie year, being thrown to the wolves, honestly, because we were a bad team. Like my first 3 starting games was like Joel Embiid, Kristaps Porzingis, Nurkic, and then I think I had Dwight Howard. I'm like 19 years old going against these monsters at that time. So I just remember having to learn on the fly.
At what point do you feel like you got like somewhat comfortable?
Probably after my second year, going into my third year. We went to the playoffs my second year. That was the Jared Dudley, Ben Simmons debut bout.
Good times.
How many threes did you make your rookie year?
I think I was like 15
Used-
for
guy used to be a shooter.
like 45. I was like a 30%.
Yeah, shoot corner threes all the time.
Yeah. And
That was the D'Lo All-Star year?
the second year.
The second
D'Lo
year.
All-Star
Gotcha.
year. Uh-huh.
That was a funny team.
It was so much fun. It was one of my funnest years in Brooklyn, to be honest with you. Just after every point, somebody's dancing. I don't know if you had Theo Pinson on the podcast yet. That dude's hilarious. He's going to make any time a fun time.
It just felt like it's like sometimes you're like, nobody was like, you guys are winning a championship, but
Yeah.
you were able to sneak up on people because of it, because you were
Right.
good. I mean, you almost beat Philly in that series,
Uh-huh.
and you had a great. Were you the 5 seed or something like that?
I want to say we were like the 5th seed or something like that. Like nobody expected us to go that far. Nobody expected us to, like you said, win, but we're just out there having a good time. Ed Davis was out there. He was leading the pack. Jared Dudley, like you heard, Rondé Hollis Jefferson, like just a bunch of just assortment of guys just making it work.
What was who's the Laker roster?
My rookie year was Kobe's last, so it was a retirement tour. It was, that was like Julius' second year. D'Angelo, JC was there. Roy Hibbert,
Swaggy.
Nick, Lou Will, Brandon Bass, Sack Ray, Meta World Peace was on that team. Marcelo Huertas.
just keeps
It was
coming.
good. We had, man.
How is that not a reality show?
It should have been. It should have been. It should have been. It was awesome. It was awesome. You know, you got to play with Kobe. Come on, like that's irreplaceable and something that I'll remember always. But the stories in between, like us young guys all going through that together, was just really good bonding and great for us all individually and together as a unit. So
Did you have a first Kobe story? Because you met him before you were playing with him, or no?
No, I hadn't. I'm trying to think. You know, he. It was just one of those things where there was just one day we were just shooting in the gym in the summertime. First time I met him, just there for workouts, and not paying any attention. And it's weird because it is true, but like we're all sitting there shooting, and then just like some song, I forget exactly what the song was, but it was mentioned like something Kobe, Kobe, and we all just kind of like just laughing and joking about it. And like at that moment, in walks the door for the first time. It's just like an introduction to us, but it was just the timing of the moment was like it was like, this is exactly how it's supposed to happen. This is exactly how it's supposed to appear to me. It's great. He was. I have nothing but positive memories and positive things to say.
The final game also is ridiculous.
Yeah,
in terms of just how I guess the word would be just like cinematic. Yeah, like theatrical, like always. Obviously the resume speaks for itself. Yeah. But just knowing like he's gonna go out like that.
No, if you have told me before the game, like, okay, this is gonna happen, I've been like, all right, Disney. Like, that's a Disney Channel movie. Like, he's not scoring 60. The man's bandaged up in ice after every single possession. Like he's had a rough year, but no, it was just, being able to be out there and run around and set screens and chase offensive rebounds for him. It was, I'll probably watch it once a year.
If you're talking to young guys who end up there, I would just say there or the Knicks, probably. I put them kind of in their own bucket with the fishbowl that comes with being on those teams and having to sort of figure yourself out, knowing that like the fans and the media and everything's gonna be freaking out after every loss. Like, what did you learn and what do you tell them now?
That's a great question.
That's a great question.
It's very unique to this. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, again, that was a lesson I had to learn. Coming from Wyoming to Los Angeles was unique. But for me, it was always just about I'm out here because of basketball, for basketball, and I'm going to be out here because of basketball and for basketball. So like, I got to feed that before I feed anything else. And it was all about keeping the main thing exactly what that is. Keep it in sight, keep it in focus, and the outside I didn't have. I was one of those crazy dudes. I brought my college sweetheart to live with me, and it was great. That's my now wife, and we have 2 beautiful girls together. But like we just did everything together and stayed out of trouble. It was basketball and her. That's all I did.
Did you have a similar thing with Giannis when you first started playing with him?
Yeah, it was weird because that was the COVID year, so we didn't get the build up to training camp. I showed up, and 2 days later we had, what did we have? 5 practices that year.
Yeah.
That year coming back from COVID.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like him and Chris both texted me when I got drafted, and it's like, wow, this is Giannis, like 2-time MVP. And I remember one of our first practices. So at the time when we switched this up during the season, but Coach Bud was notorious for drop coverage. Brooke kind of perfected that, Brooke Lopez, but he would also have the guards be in drop coverage if instead of just traditional reds, or sometimes guards will show when a big is handling the ball, but we'd be in a drop. And so one of the first practices, I'm probably guarding Dante or Bryn Forbes or something, and they go and set a screen on whoever's guarding Giannis, and I sit back in a drop, and he takes two steps at me, and like he probably could have ended my career right there, like just dunked all over me. He decided I think he was just being nice and laid it up, but that was like, well, like here we are.
We talk about Jokic all the time, but with Giannis, how have you managed that over the years?
First few years, horrible. Like subbed into the game, immediately got dunked on twice. I'll never forget with Kenny. He subbed me in, got dunked on twice. He's like, I can't sub you. Kenny, he cussed back then. He was crazy. Can't fucking sub you in, and you get dunked on twice. Like, what are you doing, Jay? I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you expect me to do? He's coming straight downhill off a pick and roll. I'm in the drop coverage. He has a head full of steam. Like, what, you want me to get out the way? Like, so that was my experience with Giannis. He wasn't as nice to me as Sam.
He was more of a target. Post Milwaukee, you bounce around a little bit. How, looking back on that with a lot of success, what was that process like? Did you ever have any moment where you were sort of like, oh, I'm happy I made it, but this might be it?
Yeah, I mean, every day felt like that, to be honest. Yeah, so I get traded to Memphis. Really good training camp, good preseason. Wasn't in the rotation at the start of the season, but was really good behind the scenes, stay ready runs and stuff. And felt like I was about to screw up my ankle on the last possession of a blowout game, land on someone's foot, end up having to get surgery, get waived. So I have to work my way back up, go to training camp with Sacramento, have a good camp. I'm the last cut, have to go to the G League. And, when I got waived from Sacramento, I asked my agents, I was like, is it time to just go overseas? And they were like, no, like you're good enough. You just got to prove that you're healthy. And it was also, it's end of October, so most of the EuroLeague spots are already filled and stuff. And they're like, just trust us. Let's go play G League for a little bit. And I had to play, more G League games than I was maybe hoping for, but was able to finally get into there. I hadn't really played in two plus years, so I was able to get into a rhythm. And there was plenty of times during that G League season where I'd have a great stretch of 3 or 4 games, be like, okay, this is it. Like, I'm going to get a call up here. And it just wasn't coming. And we had a team come in to play us twice, and agent calls and says, hey, just so you know, like the front office is coming to watch specifically you. And I had 2 really good games. And so I'm like, okay, this has got to be it. The next day they sign, I'm not going to say who or what team, obviously, but the next day they
I feel like you're not naming names, but
You know his
we
name.
know exactly all of these people.
I know, obviously. They end up signing a vet who had been out of the league that they just wanted just for the last couple months of the season. And at that point, I was like, okay, this is over. Like, I'm done.
Say it.
What?
Say it.
I mean, I'm not mad. It was
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And then the next day I got my 10 days. So it's tough. It's a grind, but I wouldn't trade it at this point.
And the 10-day, I was reading this today. So the 10-day happens, and by the following year, you broke the record the franchise record for most 3-pointers in a season for a bench player, 129, which is obviously great. In that year, was it just health? Like, is it a combination of health, obviously opportunity? Like, was there anything different, or did you just sort of feel like it was always building up to this, but you just needed to be put in a position to actually get to show it up?
No, I do think I had to adjust my game a little bit. I handled the ball a lot in college, and Milwaukee had me as like the third string point guard. So I did play a little point guard, but the G League again was a good opportunity for me to just turn into a shooter.
Yeah.
And I'd always been a really good shooter, obviously, but never been like a let it fly type guy that just, anytime you catch it, you're thinking of shooting. And so that's something I developed in the G League, and then summer league with the CAVS. It took a little bit for me to get into the rotation that next year. Kind of took some injuries, honestly, for me to start playing, but Jarrett set some great screens for me, and that's really what opened me up.
What do you see with him?
You're welcome.
What do you see with him in terms of his growth?
Honestly, his like willingness to shoot it. Like sometimes the shot might look a little sketchy. Like, it might not be the best shot, and obviously he makes it, but like his ability to like believe in himself and shoot it a lot more.
It's the gravity. It's his gravity on the court. Like if you're running if you're running pick and roll, if you're running pick and roll with James, or whether it's Don and JA, like just having wherever Sam's at on the court is a do not leave. So you're automatically playing with like at least a half a less defender, or at least one less defender to take away your action, because you can't leave him.
Is that if you leave him, you get benched? Like there's a few guys like that where it's basically like it's such an obvious thing that it
get him off the line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, what has improved? His driving ability. It was like 3 years ago. Every layup got blocked. I mean, it got to a point where we were counting on the bench.
Listen, I spent 2 years never ever shooting a shot inside the paint.
Yeah.
In my workouts, and so this summer I was like, okay, I've kind of like established myself or whatever. Maybe I can kind of get back to what I am sort of capable of doing. But yeah, I haven't gotten as many shots blocked this year. It's been great.
It's a threat now to drive, and his lob throwing ability too. It's gone skyrocketed.
I think. Listen, I don't get a ton of assists. I think there's been probably 5 or 6 times this month where I've passed the ball to JA and he's gotten fouled, and it should be the easiest and one ever. Easiest and one. You had one last night.
Yeah.
He's fucking your stats up.
Yeah.
So he owes me probably 10 assists, which would bring my average up quite a bit.
I got you.
What was your first in the first Cleveland run? What was that first year like? Like that's when I met you.
The 2018 with LeBron. Yeah, it was nuts. Because coming from LA, where we were not contending for much, and then to go right from that to it's ring or nothing was a bit of a shock. Obviously for both me and JC. But it was. I mean, again, I didn't want to get traded, but I'll tell you what, getting traded to go contend with my hometown team, with my hometown hero, like, yeah, all right, that'll work. That'll work. But no, it was just the seriousness of it took a while to adjust to. Just every practice was like playoff prep. Every coverage was, no, if you don't get this right, Boston's gonna take advantage of it. We're talking about, even in the regular season, we're talking about, what's gonna happen in the playoffs. And so it taught me a lot and forced me to grow up immediately. It was great though.
I told K-Love that we were doing the show, and he said, ask this word for word. He said, Kevin said you were a loser when he first met you, and he was finally able to get the real you out after a little bit of time in the same locker room. What does he mean by that?
It's true. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. It's true. And him and Tristan are to thank for this. But I had my first sip of alcohol when I was 21, my 21st birthday in college. And then I didn't try it again until a glass of wine with Luol Deng, maybe my 3rd year. And I was just very like buttoned up. Like it was just very like everything had to be, I don't know. It was just like everything I have to get to the NBA. So anything that wasn't that, just brush it off to the side. It didn't matter, wasn't important. And Kev was the one that was kind of like, no, like, you can still have fun, and not even just like, you can still laugh, like you can still, have a glass of wine. It's okay, it's you're here, really, and they just kind of showed me you could to unwind a little bit, and it helped me as a person, helped me as a player. But no, he is right about that. He prolonged my life in the NBA for a long time because I was taking it way too serious.
Did you think game 1, LeBron and the Warriors series, where does that rank in terms of individual performances that you've seen?
First of all, it was a charge. I want to get that first and foremost. Second,
that was where they reviewed the restricted area, but they were allowed to change it.
Yes,
yeah, that's a dumb rule. I don't know if they still have that rule or not.
It's ridiculous because if that game swings, sorry, that wasn't the question. If that game swings, it's a whole different series. But alas, at 51-8-8 in the first game of the finals, sick. Sick. I've seen James give us 55 with a few free throws. But there was one Jokic performance in Denver when I was on New Orleans that was the performance. I'll have to look it up, but it's definitely on my Rushmore of performances.
Do you remember what about it? We'll pull the actual numbers, but what about it was so like
the Jokic one?
Because part of why I'm just kind of curious because people bring these up with him all the time. Mm-hmm. But when you're comparing, like the thing that made the Bron one so special, besides the obvious that it's the finals, there was a part of it that felt like he's taking on the super team over here, basically by like Superman on the chest. Yeah. And he's going sort of shot for shot while those guys are doing their thing. So for you to compare a Jokic performance in New Orleans, I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, sure.
But it's like, it must be crazy.
Sure. No, you have to understand, like I don't really remember I don't remember so much of what he was doing that game because I was trying not to mess up myself, and so that, but I don't know that. So that probably explains that. But the Jokic one, I'm telling you, it just from start of the fourth to overtime was the best player I've seen in my life.
What do you think about? Your guys, this current team, I feel like has a pretty nice now combination of this of like the vet to youth, but then also having that veteran presence. What do you feel like not like the exact number, but like the right mix of that? Because you do want to also have young guys, like we're talking about even in Milwaukee, you want young guys who have the ability to get on the court for the future of the team. It's not great to have a bunch of guys who are not going to be there 3 years from now. So what's sort of like the right mix in terms of that combo?
I think it has more to do with what kind of vet or like what kind of young guys you have. Like, I think it's more about the communication aspect, right? Like if you have more vocal guys that are younger, like it looks like an OKC is, like they're all pretty vocal on the court. So you can have more of a younger team if those guys are willing to spur conversation like that. But I think where some of the experience and veteranness comes into play is when there's some quieter young guys or some guys that aren't comfortable with their voice as much, where to spur conversation or to spur whatever it is on the bench. And I think James and Dennis have both done an awesome job of that since they've come in. Our timeouts have gotten more lively and the conversations have certainly picked up.
Yeah. Shout out to JT too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wild kid, but he absorbs so much from like Donovan, especially James. Like you said, it's a perfect mix of young guys that are willing to learn. We have some young guys that are quiet as well. But I think like what we have right now is a perfect mix for growing a team and winning as a team.
I also think it's a good fit with what we have. We don't have a ton of young guys, but Jalen, Naquan, Craig, I want to say Keon's young. He's in his fourth year, but like they have a certain style of the way they're going to play. Like we know when Craig, when Naquan, when those guys come in, like it's pick up full energy, offensive rebounds, deflection, steals, and that complements what the rest of us do as well. So I think that's really important too.
Did you have shooters you watched growing up?
Yeah. Obviously JJ is like the one that everyone looks after. Like him and Kyle Korver, I think, are kind of from when I grew up, the OG, like come off screens and get their shots that way.
Why not Ray Allen?
Because Ray Allen was like,
Why not
bucket.
Ray Allen, Sam?
Yeah.
Ray Allen too, honestly.
Reggie Miller.
What month?
Reggie's too old.
What month are we in?
Yeah, it is February.
I mean, if you want to disrespect Ray Allen like that and say he was just a shooter, then that's on you.
Way to skirt that.
Yeah, those guys. Wayne Ellington was a guy that I really watched. So there you go, Larry. Remember Wayne Ellington?
Yeah, I do.
And then going into the draft, Joe Harris was definitely a guy I watched a lot. Let's see, who else can I say?
Joe's a great comparison. Playing with Joe, like I can see it. Yeah.
He's got a little more bounce than me, though.
Probably
A
quite
lot
a bit. Yeah. He would have dunked that lob I threw to you.
Oh man.
No, that was a great play, man.
Did you have guys that you sort of looked at in terms of how you wanted to?
My favorite player growing up, Tim Duncan. Like that's one of the people. I mean, he's always in the finals. My dad loved watching basketball. We just tag along and watch with him. Just seeing like his mid-range jumper, I always wanted to like incorporate that. So,
Oh, you didn't want to say Brad Miller? He had a mid-range jumper.
I wasn't watching Brad Miller.
He wasn't in the finals, Sam.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, I always wanted to shoot the mid-range jumper, the elbow jumper, the jab step off the backboard. It got to a point like my AAU team would call me Young Fundamental. Like that's how much I try to implement my game after him. But yeah.
Did you ever have a nickname?
No, never.
Your Money Merrill. Who
they say.
Who did that?
It started in college. The students would call me that. And then I guess someone, by the time I got to Cleveland, picked up on it.
Did you ever a good one?
Fro. Young Fundamental.
For Ohio.
For Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
For Ohio's
pretty good.
Super solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's solid. That's a good one. That's a good one.
We need one for Larry.
We don't. We
I think
don't.
this is
Larry is a hard name to nickname.
Yeah.
It's a hard one, and I accept that.
My guess is you probably didn't because your rookie year wasn't there. But was there anything weird? You mentioned like playing in your hometown city. Was there anything weird about that for you, about that dynamic? Because sometimes that does kind of like mess people up a little bit.
I would say it just makes the highs higher and the lows a little lower. Just makes it more extreme.
Yeah.
Like seeing the first time, they put junior on the back of my jersey. Ridiculous. Seeing the first time I got to put 22 on, while I played the same court my dad's retired on. Ridiculous. Memories that, nobody else has gotten to do. So, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But again, there is that like, just like growing up, it was like, being Larry Nance Jr. in Northeastern Ohio came with a lot. But at 33, I'm content with everything at this point, and it's something that I really enjoy. I really enjoy adding to, if it's adding to his legacy and creating my own, whatever, however you want to look at it. Like I think it's one of the coolest things in the world. I get to share his name and walk the same path.
Do you guys have an opinion? This is not to change. This is a totally different subject. But I was in LA at the All-Star stuff. Do you have an opinion on any of the tanking conversation?
You can't reward tanking and then expect teams not to do it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
If you're not doing it, you're not trying to win.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Have you ever been on a team? No, you kind of.
We've both been on.
I'm trying to think like your teams you would have been on because
I don't think we were tanking. I think we were just.
You think we were just bad?
I think we were just struggling.
In Cleveland? You guys were definitely taking.
I don't want to say that, but we certainly weren't a great basketball.
But it wasn't like I feel like some of these things are egregious now. And that's why
it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, now it's like you're playing great, and then it's like, all right, Jarrett, you're out.
Yeah,
at least my first year, I played fourth quarters.
100. We just weren't very good. Like we tried so hard, but like the talent wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, now things have gotten to a point where it's at an inflection point. The decision needs to be made one way or the other. We're resting healthy guys.
Do you have any? I mean, there's all these like crazy solutions, most of which are bad. Do you even have any thought of anything that like makes sense?
I think some of them are pretty wild. I mean, you're never going to fully get rid of it. To be honest, I think it's more like a cultural issue around the league where, like, in the NFL, teams tank the last 2-3 weeks of the season, right? When they have to. But even if teams know they're going to be bad going into the season, like, there's still some hope.
Yeah.
That because if you go 9-8, if you're like the Giants last year and you go 9-8 and make the playoffs, like, that's a fun season. That's a successful season. That's not in the NBA, like, the way sometimes we talk about it, like, if a team gets off to a hot start that wasn't supposed to be good, it's always, oh, it's a fun story, but they're not going to do anything. So it's not as rewarding. So that, I think, is what really needs to change. I don't know how you do that, but
what you would do is, like, in Europe, where there's the promotion relegation system, is like how you would take away tanking, but we just don't have the infrastructure for it. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to be a way, like, a G League team could be promoted and an NBA team could be relegated. And, like, that's a way to keep teams playing hard, but, like, we just don't have the infrastructure for it. So without something like that, if you incentivize tanking, teams are going to tank.
Like, I'm speaking to the cultural part. It's like, if you don't win a championship, like, the mindset around the league, it's a wasted season. You know, like, there's a lot of teams who are like obviously, like, the goal is to win the championship, but it's like, you're an 8th seed after you were 15th seed. Oh, wasted season.
Yeah.
You know? It's just, why would you even fight for something that is so far unachievable?
It's funny. I mean, I think to Sam's point too, the fan conversation is also a relevant thing in this, in that so many of these fan bases, and to exactly what you're saying, I understand it, but so many of these fan bases are also pro tanking, that it actually, I'm thinking about this because of one of your guys' new teammates, Dennis, when he was in Brooklyn last year, because they're trying to lose. I mean, they're pretty open about it. Dennis had this, Cam had it, a couple of those guys had it. They were really good at the beginning of the year. They had, like, great coach. They played really hard. They all played together. They, I don't think they were as good as the D'Angelo team. I'm not sure they were going to be the 4 seed in the East, but, like, they definitely were not a fun team to go play against. And you would think their fans hated it. Like, them winning was like, and so basically it became obvious when they were on some, like, 3-game winning streak, and then it's all of a sudden it's like, Dennis, you're out of here. It's hard to blame anybody. I don't think there's, like, a villain in that situation. It's more just like the way this is set up. If we were in the NFL, if we were in a different sport, you would be like, oh, this is a surprising team. Like, maybe they can win in the NFL, maybe they can win a wild card game. I'm not sure they're going to go on a run to win the Super Bowl, but, like, this is a positive.
Yeah, I mean, with a 1 game take all playoff style, you can pop up on somebody. Like, you know how many series start 1-0 the opposite way. Like, that's possible. But a 7-game series, the best team's going to win. And
in the difference between the NFL and NBA is, like, aside from the top level quarterbacks in the draft, like, whether you have the 9th pick or the 4th pick, you're generally going to get a great player. That's not always the case in the NBA. I personally think they should just go to the NFL style where there's no lottery and the worst team gets the best pick, but you can't have a top 3 pick, 2 years in a row, however they want to do that. I think, but
the lottery changes it up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a situation that probably won't be fixed for the next decade or something like that, unless you make something drastic where people are going to hate it.
Do you have a favorite new bookstore?
New bookstore? No. Every city I go to.
Same ones?
Yeah.
What would it take to break a new one in? Like, if they were like, I mean, maybe this will get you the invite. If they're like, if Larry's like, we got to go to this spot in Atlanta.
The one that I would take them to is Powell's Bookstore in Portland. It's like the biggest independent bookstore in America. Over 1 million books. It's literally a whole block full of books. It's
really
absurd.
That's awesome.
When did you start going there?
My 2nd year in Brooklyn, we went to Portland. I was just exploring. I went there, and I go there every year now.
I had a random movie question for you.
Yeah.
Is there a movie that you think should be remade?
If you would have asked me this like 6 months ago, I would have said Frankenstein. But Guillermo del Toro, he did Frankenstein. I haven't seen it yet, but from the trailers, it looks absolutely incredible.
I like the 1 movie a year thing because you're gonna go above it. It's like
Wait, you only watch 1 movie a year?
No, 1 movie. I want to go to the movie theater.
Once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to explore the media side of it all.
What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
Or a top?
I did my top 4.
Okay.
Annihilation, Alien, Star Wars, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Nice.
and,
Okay.
Mr. Fantastic Fox.
All right.
Wes Anderson. Big
Never
Wes
seen
Anderson.
that
That's a good list.
You would
Yeah,
love
you,
it.
what,
Mr.
you would love
Fantastic
it.
Fox. All right.
Watch it with the kids.
What are yours?
Kids will like it.
Oof. Shark Tale. Nostalgia. I mean,
Yeah.
love that movie.
You seen that movie, Sam?
Shark Tale?
Yeah.
When I was 9, probably.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
No, it's great. I'm sure it was great back then.
Love your message. It's fantastic.
Sure, it's great. It's back in the day.
12 Angry Men.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
that's a good,
Okay.
That's a good pull.
yeah.
Great
Big fan.
pull.
You ever see it on stage or no?
No, I haven't. Hateful Eight. Really enjoying the dialogue based.
I like the variety. of this.
Yeah, right.
And then if End of Watch.
Oh, it's out.
Yeah, solid movie, right?
You ever see that? You
Uh-huh.
ever see that? Nope.
Well,
How would you describe it? It's very good.
Just kind of like a buddy cop movie. Like not funny though. Like a very
It's
like
not
it's
a
not like a
buddy
buddy
cop.
cop movie. Like
Are you insane?
no, like it's two. Like it's like a two. I don't know. Like
It's
yeah,
two
like it's two
patrolmen.
cops, and it's like a.
It's
I
Jake
don't- you go ahead.
Gyllenhaal
You go ahead.
and Michael Pena, and they're driving around LA hunting
I
the
have heard of this,
cartel,
yes.
and they're shooting it all on like a handheld camera.
Yeah, thank you.
I have thought of watching this.
okay.
it's really good, but it's
I just chose my words for you. Yeah. Like they're buddies and cops, and it's a movie, but it's not a buddy cop movie. Like you know.
What are
Sorry.
yours?
Dark Knight,
Mm.
an actual buddy cop, other guys.
Okay.
Great one.
Great one.
I'd say Infinity War. That was the first time I got into Marvel. Friend invited me to the theaters to watch it, so I had no idea what was going on. But by the end, I was like, I'm in on this.
Yeah.
And then probably I really like Oppenheimer. That's up there for me.
It's a good one.
Never seen that one. I was
You-
always intimidated by the watch time.
It is,
Oh,
a long, it is a
interesting.
long
Same.
movie.
Yeah.
Do you like his other movies? Nolan's other movies?
Inception. Yeah.
I'm about as excited as I've been for The Odyssey
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
because I grew up liking Greek mythology. Like, it should be fun.
He doesn't really miss.
No.
He doesn't really miss. What do you guys think the best sports movie is?
Air Bud.
Sandlot.
Angels in the Outfield.
Those are all good choices. What's the last like most recent good sports movie?
Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. No, I haven't.
It is though. I mean, it's a sports movie.
It is a sports movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
What are recent ones that have come out? I'm trying to think.
Happy Gilmore 2.
Yeah, that was. It was a good watch. It was not a good movie, but it was a good watch. It was entertaining.
I did have a question. You brought up you were talking about your Alien book, and you mentioned it again. It brought me up a question I had. Have you ever played Warhammer, or is that something you're
No.
interested in?
The lore for that is so deep.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know where to start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's something that I've mulled over wanting to jump into, but
Yes.
I just didn't know. I just didn't know. You know. I figured-
What do you think it would take you to get into it?
Uh,
Like if you had time, if you had real time,
Uh-huh.
do you think you would?
I would probably start. They had a game come out like a year ago now. I'd probably start there, the most modern game. It's kind of, I don't know if you guys know Helldivers, but it's kind of like a game called Helldivers. Like a bunch of enemies come at you and you have to defend yourself, basically.
I played it.
Oh, so you know.
Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
played
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So the game's kind of like that. But I mean, it just branches off into different things. They have like just fans writing lore about it. It's basically like as big as the Star Wars universe, but just not as hugely like commercial popular.
But it's like painted miniature figurines and like
That's cool.
armies, and they set up these giant war rooms. It's super nerdy, but very cool.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite game?
Oh, I mean, I grew up I'm a Halo guy, big Pokemon guy.
Saw you playing on the plane last night.
Yeah, man, I download in my spare time. I download Pokemon ROM hacks and play the hard difficulty ones.
I feel like being a Pokemon guy has aged well. Pokemon is like only has gotten more popular. Like some of these
Yeah.
things go away. Like that is not.
Yeah, it's something I've never got rid of. It's awesome. I'm just a big Pokemon kid, you know.
When did you do Japan?
Yeah, I went to like 3 of the Pokemon stores in Japan.
This was this past summer.
Yep. Funny you mentioned Pokemon. I went to the mall today.
No way.
Yeah, I got a Pokemon pack.
This was out here?
Yeah, and I pulled a card for somebody special.
that.
Yeah. So that's a little present.
Merrill foul. Look at that.
Look at that.
That's amazing.
What is
There's no way.
not planned.
What a segue. What a segue.
what does this guy do?
Well done, Jay.
It's a water type. A mascot Pokemon, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, but that's cool.
You went to 3 of the stores in Tokyo?
Yeah, not in Tokyo, because I went to Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto.
Have you guys been to Japan?
It
Do you
was
think you could
incredible.
live there?
No, I don't fit. I genuinely, I don't fit.
Like you stand out significantly. Like
Very,
that's
very.
that's a funny reality show.
Yeah. It was me and my brother that went as well. My brother's 7 feet tall. Like he's taller than me. Like we stuck out like no other.
I think before we wrap, we always try to sort of end these without being too corny Disney-y with like lessons, life lessons. And all 3 of you, we've talked it already, a bunch about some of the lessons you've learned over the course of your career. But I feel like getting into your guys' journey a little bit, you both had such sort of like untraditional paths to get here. For people watching at home, is there a takeaway that you sort of look at if you're able to put your life in perspective while you're sort of here right now that you look at as like a lesson you like to pass along?
Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, for my thing for me has always been trust my work, trust what I'm doing. I just have tried, during those down years where I wasn't sure if it was going to work out in the NBA. I had a high school baseball coach. His message all year was it'll all come around. Like you put in the work, it'll work itself out. And that's what I tried to tell myself that whole time was I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I work really hard. I do things the right way, try and be a good person, like had faith that it would work out somewhere. And fortunately with a great organization and whatnot, but if you're doing things the right way, and putting in the work, like have faith that it'll work out and it will.
Yeah, no, actually, that's right along the same lines of what I was going to say too. Put in the work, but like it's more so of like a. Kieran always says, but it originally came from us. But it's like, water will find its level, right? Like it's there's going to be ups and downs to an NBA season, right? Like there's going to have a bad month of shooting, a bad week of shooting, a bad whatever, like bad games happen here or there. But, you know what you are. Like water will always find its level and return to balance. Like stay level-headed, stay in the moment.
I like that.
That's
a
where I'm
good
at.
phrase.
Our agent says that to us
It's
all
great.
the time.
Yeah, he does,
T-shirt.
but it's
I don't really know what it
something.
actually means though.
What do you mean?
Water will find its level.
Like you could shake, here we go. Like, I mean, like,
Oh,
as
it'll always
rocky
get
as
back.
it gets,
Okay.
it'll always get back
Okay.
to net zero.
I
you
get
know
it
what
now.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
That makes sense.
It's great.
So just endure the storm because it'll always return.
What do you think?
A wise teammate I once had by Isaac Okoro used to say day by day. I thought it was the corniest thing. Whenever he says it for everything. But like if you really take it day by day, you get through the rough days a lot easier knowing that the next day will be different, and just enjoy each day that like you play this. Enjoy, have fun with it. It's not going to be the best. It's not going to be the worst, but I mean, just take it in stride.
Like that, fellas. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
man.
Appreciate you
A lot of
having us.
fun.